It's Sunday and you won't find any preachers in the streets because they're all in church, but you will find the occasional Jehovah's Witness. They've had their early morning Kingdom Hall service, and what better time to proselytize for them than on a Sunday because all the heathens are out. Now, I'm in my hometown now, and I know that they're on to me because they stopped talking to me, but I'm always willing to try again.
All right.
Sorry?
All right.
Oh yeah. Is this a course of some kind?
Yeah, it's a Bible study course with Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right. Yeah.
And how long have you been over in England?
Nearly 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does it compare?
Quieter, believe it or not. I know Canada's got this reputation of being quite quiet.
Yes, actually, in my mind, I imagine it being that way.
Yeah. Unless you get into London, of course, it's all busy. Yeah. Occasionally I see some of these stands in London.
Yeah.
I wonder what they were.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
I thought your magazine was called Watchtower.
Watchtower, yeah. They are. Yeah, it's Watchtower and the Awake. So
yeah.
These ones are the Awake. Yeah. But we do the Watchtowers as well. Yeah. Ultimately, it's all trying to just teach people what the Bible's actually saying.
Oh, so Awake refers to
These are more.
wake up.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep awake to what's going on in the world, really.
Yeah.
It's similar to Watchtower. Watchtower is looking at what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
There used to be like a little forwarding saying it's been continually published since 1914 and do you read them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ultimately, we're just aware that the world's got a bit crazy. Do you agree with that?
Gotten crazy. It's always been crazy.
It's getting, more crazy, really.
I don't know. Do you think it's getting more crazy or?
When I was a child, yeah. I tell you why. I used to be allowed to play in the woods.
Yeah.
Where I grew up. But if I had a child now, I wouldn't let them play anywhere near those woods. So I think to myself, something must have changed.
I think you hear on the news about pedophiles and things like that, which they were too scared to report that before. I think it's always been going on, sadly.
Recording, by the way.
Hey?
You recording, by the way?
I'm listening to podcasts.
Just wondering if some sort of stupid callers, just out of courtesy, if you let us know we record. We don't
Oh no, I've got my headphones.
No, because we have had people record us. We're not. There's no sort of shame on it, but it's just courtesy to let us know.
No. Yes, I think things have changed for the better in some ways, so, yeah, but I don't know, it depends how you look at it, I guess, really.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's true. I mean, technology's got so much better.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
But is it a safer place to live now than when I was a child? I think probably not.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, I know you hear all these things on the news, but generally speaking, I think people are getting better, But don't you think like a sort of more secular society is perhaps the better way to go?
What, where we stay away from other nationalities, you mean?
No, I mean, rather than sort of like, the Church of England would like, the country to be sort of like ruled by the Bible in a way, all these faith schools and everything. But I think the most progress seems to come out of the secular world,
Yeah.
That's why we don't have slaves anymore. That's why we don't kill gay people,
No. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Although, with standards sort of changing down that route, is it creating a better world?
Yeah.
Like, are we improving?
Yeah.
If it's more unsafe now than it was when I was a child, it suggests to me that things are not improving. If anything, are going downhill. So it depends how you look at it, really.
I mean, do you think it's worse than in, say, I don't know, medieval times or something? Because I wouldn't like to go back in time at all, because things would be worse.
Yeah, that's true. And I wouldn't try and convince you that it's a horrible world, because it's lovely as well.
Yeah.
The Creator has created such a beautiful planet. Do you believe in a God or not?
I was brought up and all that, yeah.
And how do you feel now?
I don't really think about it, because there's no way to tell, I don't know, I've got Mormons coming up to me in the street, and evangelists, and Hare Krishnas and everything, and they've all got the answer. So, I mean, I think it's just people deciding what the answer is.
Yeah.
So.
Because what you'll find in this magazine here, on the back, there's always an article saying, was it designed? And it's just looking at an animal. In this case, it's the cuttlefish. And just saying, look, could this have happened accidentally over millions and millions and billions of years evolving? Or is there a designer behind life that is absolutely amazing?
I think it looks designed if you look at it the way it is now.
Because it looks complete.
Yeah.
And we look complete. And to imagine that we used to be a monkey and now we've become a human, and the monkey used to be something else, and it all started crawling out of the sea.
Yeah.
Is that logical?
Well, but science have looked into it and discovered, oh, that's what happened. They didn't make it up. You know, they found it and went, oh, look at that. And they got evidence in the fossil record, you know.
That's what I was led to believe at school,
that
there's lots of evidence. But actually it's not the case, and that surprised me. That they're really, quite a lot of scientists are forcing the evidence to look a certain way.
I don't know, because they have to get peer reviewed. You know, they put out a paper or whatever they call it, and this is the scientific experiments I did. Could you also do the same one to see if you get the same conclusions? I don't think it's like a conspiracy like some of the American evangelists will say, you know.
Well, I was led to believe that they've found these whole skeletons of half human, half monkey things, and said, see, that proves it. But what surprised me actually is they've found, say for example, one bone, and the rest they've created on a computer to imagine what this thing would have looked like. So
they can extrapolate from that. They do that now in forensics. You know, and they find that a piece of a skull is a certain person who was missing at a certain time at a certain day, and it all matches up.
But they make it hairy as well. So from a bone, has become this big story of it was a hairy beast that would have crawled around on its legs. But when you go back to what they've actually found, it's only a little bone about that big, and you think, well, hang on, you've made quite a big story out of that. You've assumed quite a lot.
I don't know.
And have fed it to us like we've found the missing in between.
Yeah.
And I learned at school that really there's tons of this stuff all around.
Right.
I was quite surprised it actually isn't. I'll give you a brochure. You like?
I mean, I'm not a scientist, you know.
No,
but
I'm not either. I'm not. There's two types of evolution, and this quite surprised me. We do adapt.
Yeah.
You know, if you move to a cold country, you probably become a bit hairier, for example. So that's all right.
Well, we have. I mean, I wouldn't say hairier, but because we started in Africa, everyone's darker skinned down there to cope with the heat and the sun.
Yeah.
And as we migrated to Europe, people like us, Caucasians, became lighter and blue-eyed and all that. It's just...
Exactly, so we adapt, and that's fine, that's totally fine. It seems that we were built to adapt.
Yeah.
But what evolution teaches is slightly different to that. It's that we become a different creature. So we used to be one creature, that changed to a different creature, and now we've become human.
Yeah.
The fossil record actually doesn't support that. So this here, look, evolution myths and facts.
Yeah.
And it's just got a few of the myths. Mutations provide the raw materials needed to create new species. So as you mutate, eventually you become something else. That's a myth, but it looks at the facts. Interesting. It's very interesting. I love this magazine.
But are the people who wrote this, are they scientists?
They're clever. I don't know whether they'll have a degree. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it doesn't matter, to be honest.
But
it's not got a signature on it, so you can think about it yourself. And
all I know is that scientists will admit that they are wrong if new evidence comes to light. You know, it's just like the theory of evolution isn't a theory in that, we don't really know if it's true. It's a scientific term. It's like a different sort of version of the word theory. It means this is the best evidence we have that seems to be working until more evidence comes along. You know.
But there are scientists that don't believe that as well.
Well, yeah, that's the nature of it. They are willing to say that they're wrong, but most of them agree that, you know, this seems to be what happened, whether we like it or not. You know, we did come from slime. It's like it is a bit of a gross idea, but if that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
Yeah, and what this is helping us to see is that actually it's a myth. Because sometimes an argument is accepted because it's been said enough times. Well, that doesn't make it an acceptable argument.
You could say that about religion as well.
Yeah, I know, totally true. But hopefully you're intelligent enough to look at the evidence and make your own decision.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not here to twist your arm around and say you've got to believe in God because we believe in God.
Yeah.
But what we do feel is actually there's not that the evidence points to there being a God.
Yeah.
And if you can decide first of all that that's true, the next question is, how does he feel about this beautiful planet that he's made that humans are kind of trashing? Does he have any feelings?
I was wondering why God made some really horrible things. But just the fact that carnivores,
yes,
going after zebra and sometimes baby zebra, and there's these flesh-eating viruses and all that.
Yeah, and spiders, and
I mean,
scary stuff.
why create that? If you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, well, decide first whether it was created, and then that question is the next natural question.
Yeah.
See, you can't really have an answer to that question if you're going to come back to, but I don't believe it was created in the first place, because it's jumping too far forward. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it might be created, but there's no way I can ever know. There's no way you can know.
Personally, we can make a decision. We can get all the facts in and say, right, I've been told this by science. The Bible says this.
Yeah.
This is what I see myself and my logic.
Yeah.
I'm going to make an ultimate decision. Is there a God or isn't there a God? Is there a designer behind life? Right.
Yeah.
Once I've made my decision, there is, if that's the decision I make. Is the Bible from him? I'm going to look at the evidence. If I've decided it is from him, then it's trustworthy.
Yeah.
What does it say? What does it say God's feelings are? What does it say his plans are? And it's like a natural step.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Oh, well.
And it's one that we would encourage people. Some people don't bother.
Yeah.
Some people say, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest.
No, I'm not sure I do.
It's up to them, really.
At least with science you can see it.
Yes.
You can go into a lab and look under a microscope.
Yeah.
And with the Bible you have to assume that there's some... It's all invisible. It doesn't matter what religion it is, it's always invisible. You know what I mean? Which just makes you think, perhaps it's stuff people are making up. You believe that Zeus was made up, don't you?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
So,
but it's not all invisible, because like the cuttlefish isn't invisible.
No, I mean gods and angels and
Yeah.
heavens and all that stuff.
But the things that he's like, I'll give you an example. I believe in Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
When you don't believe in him, you know from his works, and
So from his works. So there is enough works on the earth to decide whether there's a creator.
But you're assuming that was made by someone.
Oh no, if this was designed, then there is a designer. There must be.
Yeah, but there's no way of knowing. That's what I'm saying.
There's a way of making a decision.
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, because some of the things, especially in the ocean, are so weird looking.
I know, yeah,
they do look like, well, maybe it was just nature,
Well efficient though. I mean, this is what these articles are for.
Yeah.
Is everything in creation seems to do it a lot more efficiently than what we can actually design. So cars, for example, they've looked at fish and the aerodynamics of fish and copied it in a car. So if the car had to have a designer and he's basing it on a fish, but we're saying a fish just randomly happened over billions and billions of years.
I don't know if it's random, but it was millions of years of incremental changes.
Yeah,
and some of which work
efficiency.
And some don't work. That's why you have things that go extinct. Yeah, they don't work or whatever. Or disease gets to them or something like that. But yeah, because they've taken so long, like birds have taken so long to evolve, so long, that we can actually say, I'm going to nick some of that and design my airplane on that.
Yeah.
So...
But it would never happen without an intelligent designer. If you just left a Ford Focus, it wouldn't become a Rolls Royce, would it? And say, well, yeah, but I left it billions of years.
Well, no, it's not alive.
It disintegrates. Yeah, exactly. So things
rocks
that are
don't
alive,
evolve, for instance.
Exactly.
But...
And that's what this is very simple. It's not like mega crazy complicated, but I do feel like it presents a satisfactory argument to say it's logical to believe in a designer behind life, and actually the facts don't fit evolution. But it's not a twist arm. Would you read the own time? I realise we're never going to see it.
It's a whole book.
It's a brochure. Yeah. There's no cost.
Yeah.
to
Well,
money.
no, I'm open-minded, you know. So.
I love it. I love it because it really makes me feel like the design of life is amazing and awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes I do
Even the
wonder.
cycles, you know, like there's a cycle in place to clean water.
Yeah.
So the whole planet has got a water filtration system that is more efficient than stuff you can design in your house. So you go a wee on the floor, it goes up in the air,
Yeah.
it rains, lands on a mountain, filters all the way through it, and you stand at the bottom and drink natural mineral water, and it costs money.
Well, you
It's
can,
amazing.
using the word filter, you can filter out the things which look good, but then there's things like the Zika virus, which are creating children in South America with brain defects. You know, I mean, not everything is for our benefit.
No, but we have tinkered with the earth, haven't we?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
some things we've created ourselves. I'm not suggesting we've created this virus,
Yeah.
but we've really tinkered with stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think
who's
it's
to
been
know
going on
what
before we started tinkering, you know, but I don't know. Thank you
Okay,
very
that's
much.
encouraging. Thanks for stopping.
That's all right.
And enjoy your day.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye. Well, despite the fact that they knew I was recording, I'm not quite sure why they were so quick to guess that. I won't say the description of me out there. I bet they do. And you notice they said, oh, we don't mind if you are recording, we just like to know. So what difference does it make? Are you going to alter your answers if you know you're being recorded? So I got a glossy magazine that they've produced all about evolution, which is apparently written by clever people. Not scientists, but clever people. Clever, religious, Jehovah's Witness people. Well, I wonder if I'm going to glean much knowledge out of that magazine. Somehow I think not.